right. There you go. All right. I put my hand on your hip. When I dip you down. Oh, and that pimple is not looking good, girl. That pimple. She pissed, she mad. I'm just gonna keep. Should I keep the headphones on? I always have these headphones on. Anyway, I decided to go into my car this time because every time I sit to talk to you guys in my recliner, I get depressed. I'm so tired of that take on recliner. So changing the ambiance, the environment to go talk, it's making me a little bit more centered. So let's discuss. My last video I had posted, where I was and how long it's been taking me and yada, yada, yada. This video is going to be breaking down the beginning. And I'm going to break down the beginning because today, this stomach of mine is still in pain. And at this point, I don't even know what the fuck it is anymore. At this point, I'm like, is it recovery? Is it like my intestines? Is there something going on like within the bowels? I don't know anymore. Like, I'm just so tired of just pain. Anyway, okay. So the last video, I explained how I had three surgeries in 7 months, and it started last May. To just take you all the way back, it was actually around the block. I was power walking with my son because I was trying to get my life together. I was trying to be more healthier. And I collapsed to the ground in the middle of the street because I sprained my daggone ankle. And I don't know how I made it home. I limped home, but I put pressure on that shit. Got all the way home, and I sat on that recliner, and my husband was like, this is looking kind of bad. We might need to go to the hospital. That's where they found that it was a level 3 sprain. It was going to be 12 months of me having to get off my feet. And that was not going to happen. I had stuff to do. I had a vacation I was going on. I had stuff to do. And I would hear from like family and friends, like, maybe this is just the universe's way of being able to force you to sit down. And I was like, I hear you. I get it. But also, no. I don't wanna. So in the middle of me sitting down, I decided I have to be productive. I can't just be sitting here. I decided I was going to make an appointment for my PAP. At least if I'm going to sit here, let's be productive. So my PAP appointment was the next month. So now we're rolling into June. Get to June. I'm laying down on the table, talking with my doctor, shooting shit. I'm so focused on my ankle still that I'm not even like mentally there for the PAP. Like, I'm not really concerned about it at all. I never miss a PAP. They never find anything. I stay consistent. We check for everything. Nothing. Good, 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 good. As I'm talking to her about how frustrated I am about my ankle, she says, Veronica, I see something in here. It could very well be inflammation from you about to get your period, but I'm going to test it anyways. And I was like, that's fine. Do what you need to do. Anyways, blip, 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 blip. It went completely over because stuff doesn't happen to me. I'm good. Ankle. Vacation problems. Boot. Ankle brace. We got other things we got to focus on, Doc. What a dumbass I was. So she's complete. I go home, and I should have known. I should have known. The doctor, at least mine, will always message me on my chart to let me know you're good, and I can keep it moving. I got a phone call 24 hours later. And she had stated that all the tests came back clear, but they did find abnormal cells. And I was like, okay. And she goes, so I'm going to have to send you to a colposcopist. And I'm like, abnormal cells, like, what's a colposcopist? And she explained how this is it's a specialty doctor for gynecology. They're going to go in and they're going to test for cancer and precancer. And I don't know. Something shifts in you. And I've heard it. And it's true. Oh, the winds of change. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Something shifts in you when the word cancer is sprinkled around you. You start to look at things differently. And in that moment, to hear that I was going to have to go to a colposcopist to go get seen, that was like the first moment of like, pump the brakes. Like, I wasn't scared. I was not scared, but I was like concerned. Not high alert, but alerted enough. And I made the appointment immediately, and that led us into July. So now we're in July of 2023. And I get to the appointment, and I meet with the doctor, but the first thing out of her mouth was, I'm not sure why you're here. I said, oh, it's nice to meet you too. She's like, no, I mean, like, you're not supposed to be here. I'm not sure who scheduled you, but when you end up getting abnormal cells from your PCP, normally for protocol, policy, whatever she said, I will see you the following calendar year, because more than likely these things clear up on their own, and there's really no reason for you to be here and go through this if it's going to clear or if it's low. There's 3 different stages. There's level 1, 2, and 3, also known as CIN1, as in CIN. There's CIN1, CIN2, CIN3. So I hear what she's saying, but also I'm low-key insulted that this is the first thing you're saying as I'm walking in. You don't even know me. You don't know Jack, and you're telling me that I shouldn't even be there. So politely, respectfully, I lean in and I tell her, listen, doc, I got a babysitter to be here. So you go open her up. You're going to open her up. You're going to check some shit out. And she's like, well, I mean, since you're already here, we might as well. I had researched on YouTube leading up to this point on what to prepare for. And I did notice that it could go either way. There are women who go through a lot of pain, and there's women who just get sort of kind of crampy. Leading me to this point is the one thing that I did ask my doctor, my PCP, was, how did abnormal cells like show up now if I've never missed a PEP? Like, I've never missed it. And she goes, oh, Veronica, these things can go dormant. And they can go dormant for many, many, many years. And I was like, oh. So that's why I find it interesting how they can go dormant for many, many, many years. We have no idea where I am, but I'm being told that I should be waiting another calendar year before they even biopsy anything. I digress. She opens me up and she goes, well, I can see what your PCP has seen. I don't think that it's anything aggressive. If anything, it's probably just level 1, which is CIN1. But I'm going to have to biopsy, Veronica, so I'm going to need you to brace yourself. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, so I'm going to count down from 3. And when I get to 0, you're going to cough a big cough. And I said, why do I got to cough? And she goes, to distract you from the pain. This is a woman. Knowing what I know now, I look back and I wish I would have been more prepared going in. Like, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't figure out how to be able to give women painless procedures like this. We expect them to just endure the pain. Why? They say that there's no nerve endings on the cervix, and yet we can feel it. So she counts down to 0. I cough a big cough, and the first one hit. That's the one that put me into shock. There's nothing that you can compare it to. I had 3 children. It's not birth. How do you explain that your cervix quite literally feels like you're cutting into it? I don't know how to explain that feeling. So now I'm in shock. And she begins to count down again. She gets to 0, and I cough. And that second one, because you already know what it's going to feel like, just hits way worse. And I'm trying to fucking breathe. And she's looking at me like, are you ready? And I'm like, you're going to do it again? She's like, I need to do it one more time. She counts down. She gets to 0. I cough a big cough. And she misses. Meanwhile, my husband is with me, and he can see it on the screen where she went to go grab, but she missed it. So because she missed it, she quickly went back and grabbed it again. And when I tell you, that third one made me scream. The third one made me scream. I laid on that table and I just cried, and she took the instruments out. I didn't know, what do you say after that? She just proceeded to tell me that I was going to be kind of crampy for the next couple of days. I would bleed, to wear a liner, and that the results would come in anywhere between 1 week to 2 weeks. She gave me an exam around my stomach. I was having some pains on the stomach. She was worried about it being my appendix, and that's when she requested the MRI and CAT scan, because she needed to make sure that she knew what was going on the inside before she scheduled the surgery. If it came back higher than a level 1. But Miss Veronica, I think that this is just a level 1. I think this is just CIN1. I think you're going to be okay. I got the MRI. I got the CAT. It was not my appendix. That's when they found the obstruction on my ureter connecting to my kidney. So my kidney was now in trouble. So they needed to keep an eye on it. And she called me and said, all right, we found the obstruction. It's not your appendix. We can move forward with this procedure. This procedure is known as a LEEP, capital LEEP. And learning about it online and researching on YouTube and listening to other women in a nutshell, because you can do your own research if you would really like to deep dive into it. Ultimately, they open up your canal, your vagina, and they cut the top part of your cervix off. to remove the precancer. And she scheduled me because it wasn't level 1 like she thought it was. She scheduled me because it was level 3. It was CIN3. And we didn't know how far up any of this was going. So to consider me waiting for a whole other year, I don't know what would have happened. So, looking back now, my surgery was in October 18th. It was my anniversary. And I went in really hopeful that they were going to go in, they were going to get it out, and it was going to be done. And I knew that they had found this obstruction and there was other issues, but I was focusing solely on this. I needed to make sure that I took care of the precancer. And I went in October 18th, not knowing that this would be the first round of many surgeries and many procedures and many appointments and so many needles. And it's now October the following year. And now I'm making these YouTube videos. So I'm dragging this out. I wish that there was a way to be able to share just how fucked up this whole situation was with in regards to women's health. And you don't know until you know. You don't know until you walk it. I saw it, but you don't know the depths of it until you're in it. And when you're in it, you're just like, hot damn, like literally, like the amount of money that's going to be able to fix all these other problems that aren't really much of a priority. And we can't fix women's health care to give them proper procedures without pain. The next video is going to be more in detail about the leap and what happened then thereafter. But do not, if you are in the position of getting ready for a biopsy, or you just got abnormal results, or you yourself are in the same position as I was and you're getting ready for surgery, don't allow any doctor to make you seem as though that your recovery should not be taking that long. She told me that it would take me a few days after the punch biopsy, and maybe that's what ends up happening with other women, but that's not what happened with me. I was in pain for 6 weeks after that punch biopsy. She told me it would be a day or two, possibly 3. It was 6 weeks. I was so sore for 6 weeks. My body takes longer. It took longer with each surgery as well. So don't fight yourself and don't beat yourself up that you're not able to hop and skip like other women can, and that other women have shown their doctor that they can. Because if your doctor is telling you this really shouldn't be taking this long, let your body do what it needs to do. You know, if you're a mom, you see your child and they're trying to walk, but they can't walk, but you see other, moms and their kids are like sprinting. And you're like, is there something wrong with you? No, there's nothing wrong with your kid. Your kid just takes his own time. He's going to walk on his own time. And they do. Same thing with potty training. Every child takes their own specific time to be able to get with it. I don't know why we can't be able to take the same advice when it comes to our own healing. Our bodies are going to take their own time. So when a doctor is telling you, oh, it's only going to take 2 to 3 days tops. I know so many women who are back to work the next day and you're crouched in bed, holding your stomach, grabbing your vagina some days because it hurts so much for 6 weeks. You honor that. Anyway, I'm not a bitch. I ain't gonna cry on this video again. I'm always fucking crying. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna get back into this house with me and my sore ass beeper because yeah, my stomach still be hurting. This is 5 months after my last surgery, 8 months after my second, and a year after my first. It is October 2024. And I made it a year. And I'm still in pain some days. And that's all right. Because as much as I'm frustrated and as much as I'm angry sometimes, and a bitch done gained 40 pounds from fucking sitting to get back up and to be able to drive and to be able to take care of myself and get my laundry done and feed myself good foods, I'm honoring my body and what it needs to do. So I'm encouraging you to honor thyself and take the time that you need. Do not force yourself to hurry up, because you wouldn't do that to your kids. You wouldn't rush them to learn how to walk. You wouldn't rush them to learn how to potty train. You wouldn't rush them to learn how to be able to be, efficient in school. We all learn different ways. We all heal different ways. We all get to where we need to go different ways. So honor yourself in your process. I'm rambling. I'm gonna keep going. Lord knows I'm gonna keep fucking going. I'm gonna grab my motherfucking keys with this sore ass motherfucking stomach, and I'm gonna get into this damn house, and I'm gonna be grateful for the day that I was able to walk. It's a year. I fucking did that. Whoo! And hopefully this fasting that I've been doing for the past 2 weeks continues to help, because it's been helping reduce the inflammation. Lord knows I got acne. I got this motherfucking pimple on the top of my damn lip. But I digress. You matter. And everything happens quite literally for a purpose. I didn't want to sit down. And I was moving way too fast. I was not focusing on life. I wasn't paying attention to what really mattered. I was just so in the day. And this allowed me to sit. As much as I hated it, allowed me to sit. This forced me to do some unwanted thinking. I already think too much, and this really challenged me, but it made me sit and reground myself to remember who I was. This stuff has been brewing for 20 years. Let that sink in. This shit went dormant for 20 years. And it is thought that the death of my father is what brought it up to the surface. That it just pushed everything out and said, take care of this. And that I did. Anyway, that's it. That's all, folks. Until the next video.